Welcome to another episode of Talking Positive with Randy and Alan. I'm Alan,
And I'm Randy.
and today our guest is Paul Venditti from Shelby Township. Welcome, Paul, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure and honor to be here. Thank you.
Cool.
So, Paul, give us a little background of why you're here or how you got here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I have turned my life, and by the grace of God, I have to say. I had a number of back surgeries, and I was wallowing in misery. I didn't know what what I could do, what I should do. I was praying every night, what should I do? What should I do? One night I went to bed. I prayed before I fell asleep. Lord, please tell me what you want me to do. I woke up in the morning. I felt this warm hand on my face and a whisper in my ear. The Lord said to me, you wanted to act, go and be well. Well, back in the day, I did a play when I was a kid. And I thought to myself, someday when I retire, I'm going to start acting. He told me to do it. I jumped up, I ran to the computer, I found some auditions, I started acting. Acting led to singing, and then that's led to voiceover work. And in fact, here, from Berkeley, Michigan. From Berkeley, Michigan, it's Talking Positive with Randy and Alan.
I like that. I like that.
And audiobooks and stuff, yeah. And and now here I am. Now, it was hard to turn the negative thoughts. And I have to back up a little bit here because, I think when people try to become positive, they have to remember how they grew up. And for me, I had a loving family, but it was, you can't be creative. You can't be doing that. You can't do plays. You got to get a regular job. You can't do real estate. You can't open a Dairy Queen at 15. You don't even drive. And you didn't do those things, Mm-hmm. But now, later in life, I'm 69, and by the grace of God, I'm here. During those times, I had to learn one of the most important things. One of the most important lessons is speak what you speak, you become. What you speak, you become. I had to learn that. I had to stop those negative thoughts. And every time I had one, I counteracted it with a positive one.
Yeah.
And eventually, the negative ones have subsided.
That's the way I am, right? And I noticed a shift in everything that was happening. You have doubts when you try and do something for so long, and you don't realize the things you're saying and how you're saying that you're really speaking ill of yourself.
That's right.
And you don't think about it like that because you're
That's
just
right.
caught in a moment and you're feeling the emotion of the situation. But but when I began to realize, like, wait a minute, stop talking negative about yourself. Like, don't look at the situation and speak bad about it. Speak positive about it. Speak good about it. Say what you want, and it'll happen. And suddenly things began to happen for me, and my whole life changed because of it.
Amen.
And now, as you said, I'm sitting here with my buddy here doing this wonderful podcast where we've been touching a lot of people's lives that's been watching. So it's very. I'm glad you said that. That's very important, even in my positivity journey.
I'm so glad you guys are doing this podcast, by the way, because people need this. People need this. I like to listen occasionally to different mentors, whatever,
Right.
you see them on YouTube and stuff. And I've been seeing lately that 90% of the people are unhappy or feel negative, and it's hard to get the best of yourself and those around you if a person is negative.
Yeah, like me, I want to show people, and one of the reasons I wanted to get the podcast going was I want to show people that no matter what situation you go through in life, because we all go through them, there's a positive in every situation.
Absolutely.
And it's up to us to find that positive.
It changes, unfortunately, sometimes it changes what we're used to, You know? I
Yeah.
mean, I used to walk through brick walls. Now I lean on them. You know?
On that note, like you spoke about, or I know, just being your friend for over the decade, just back surgeries. Like you've had a lot of back surgeries. I know having one back surgery is a lot to get through
Yep.
and to stay upbeat about,
Yeah.
right? Having seven, how are you able
Keep,
to?
you know, the comeback, and you know, and everybody loves a comeback, especially the person coming back, right? Well, 7 times I did it. The seventh time, it really was devastating. I mean, I fell into deep depression. Out of the deep depression, I learned to become more grateful, and I just include that now in my life constantly, every day. It's part of my conversation with God. You know, I'm grateful for the shower, like we talked about. I'm grateful for this. That could be the smallest thing, but it's important to be grateful, because if you're not grateful and you're thinking about the negative, it just keeps feeding it, manifesting itself. Which brings me to another subject: your friends. And this was a painful one for me, but um, you know, in that negative period, I was giving off a lot of negative energy, and my friends were all pretty negative.
Yeah.
And who complained about this? And it was always the same story over and over and over and over. And to this day, it still is. But I had to realize too, I had to expand that. Not, you know, and it's a little bit hard because, you know, I feel like I had an obligation and loyalty to my friends. So we're still friends, but I can't, I can't be treading water in that negative energy all the time. You know, I listen and, you know, help when I can, as much as I can. But focus on, you know, people come into your life then. If you drop some of that negative energy, more positive people come in. And you know, you kind of live off of that.
Did you ever bring up to your friends that you were all, when you were part of the negative energy? Did you ever say, "Hey guys, did you ever think about being positive?"
Well, I would bring up, I go, you know, here we're bitching all the time, excuse me. You know, we're
No, no
negative
problem.
all the time here, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, you know, and I would bring it up occasionally, you know.
I was going to call it a bitch session.
Well,
So
it
you know
is
when you
what
said
it
that, yeah.
is. I mean,
But
you know,
but
'cause it
yeah,
makes sense with it.
but I mean, and how did they react when you brought when you said we're complaining all the time? Why don't we think of positive things?
Generally, they complain more.
What you had mentioned earlier about being in that place, and then all of a sudden you knew that, wait a minute, like you knew that change mentally. What was it that prompted you to do that? Like, was it something? What feeling or what happened where you knew, like, okay, enough of this, I got to start thinking different? What was it
Well, I'm
that?
glad you brought that up because for me, and I think for a lot of people, you have to make the decision to change, to become positive, to let go of that negative. You know, I've been in therapy for 30 years, and I'm basically just finishing up. I'm 69. You know, it's interesting over the years. The more I've learned to understand what's going on in my mind better and better and better. And now I got, you know, my doctors think I got it down pretty good, and it's time to go. Yeah, you know, okay, one more time. But you know, you have to look inside yourself. You have to think about what's going on in your head. Your head tells you, even if you're having a negative thought, that you're having a negative thought, or something not copacetic with that. You know what I mean? We're not necessarily designed for negativity. We don't thrive because there's only one way with negativity.
Right.
You know, you get stalled out. There's so many people do, unfortunately. And I made the decision. That was part of that whole being more grateful. The positive words were really important for me. Um, you know, watching what's happening with my friends. I made the decision to do it, and then my focus shifted a little bit to that. And then you know, you things. It's also important to have things to look forward to. Also, and for me, the singing was doing shows, or you know, doing a theater, or you know, then I started the voiceover stuff. I did a demo for audiobooks and things. You know, you need to have something to look forward to. And I come to find out, I realized that, you know, God gave me a gift with my voice. Um,
I do so much stuff at the church and in the church readings and recordings, and there's so much positive energy that comes from that, and it's a gift that I have to use, and we all have them. So it's a matter of finding what you have, and you know what it is, you know, and putting yourself out there for it.
How did this affect family life? Or did it affect when you were negative? Did your family try to bring you up, or did they let you wallow a little bit? Or
I pushed them away. I think a lot of people do that. I mean, I was kind of wallowing. They tried, you know, but I wouldn't really let them in. So I remember there was a couple year period there. I mean, it seemed like I was alone all the time, and that's not good either. That's not good either. So I want to say what happened, like for me, with therapy. I've learned to understand the triggers that will either get me a little depressed or get me into a negative pattern. So, for example, um, recently, I had 7 back surgeries. I'm on my way to the 8th. The hardware in my back ruptured, so I'm gonna have reconstructive.
Mm.
Um, so with some of my projects going on, it's a little bit. It was a little heavy because I want to do this, but I don't know when surgery is. I don't know how long recovery will be. But I decided I wasn't going to stop. But I started feeling bad, and some friends reached out. Um, Christmas carolers from choir. I was going to be caroling with them, and I invited them over to carol at my house. So we had a little party at my house. You got to have people with you. You got to have positive people with you. And the same thing happened with the theater group that I was with. They wanted to visit, and in the old days, I would have said no. My first reaction was no, and I thought, "What are you stupid? This is a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah, come by." And it turned that whole things around. So it's really important to be aware of what is going on in your head. Because if we have or had the tendency, I mean, that's with you all the time. Unfortunately, whatever part of your brain was trained with that negative stuff,
Yeah.
it's going to be with you and it's going to haunt you, but you're not going to let it win. Because you're going to call it and check, and you can do that. It can be done. You know? And we were talking earlier. I mean, people ask me often, why, how'd you get all this peace and happiness? And what's the matter with you? What's the matter with me?
what's the matter with you? Right.
Yeah. Not everybody knows, but your daughter was Miss Michigan,
Yeah, 2012.
2012. What was that like? Like, what was that experience like? Because I know that had an opportunity to help stay positive, or were you still battling certain things, just trying to find your way through it?
Well, I find that an interesting question because I had battle stuff before and after, and that was one of the steps along the way that kind of pulled me up a little bit. And I think like during the way you pull yourself up to the next step, your next step, your next step. It was a wonderful time. It was a whirlwind year. I mean, she was constantly busy traveling, doing stuff. I was escorting her a lot. We were in the Christmas Day parade. She was in the float. I was walking alongside. I think I lost 3 pounds. I think. But I made up for it that night. Yeah, it was good. But then there was also a lot of pressure too. And you feel that through the family sometimes. You know what I mean? So there was a lot. It was a lot going on. There was a lot going on. But it was kind of a growing experience. And that's kind of where I started opening up some of the creative stuff. As you know, I met Randy at that time. I wrote one pager for a reality show at Beauty Queen Moms. I don't mind saying it now. We were way ahead of our time. But it was close on it. But yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. It opened me up to a lot of
Did
different.
she go into modeling after, or was she a model?
Afterwards she didn't want to. She was done with it. She could have done
Yeah.
one of the newscasters or
Right,
something like
right.
that. She had some offers, but she didn't want anything to do with it. She
Smart
wanted to
girl.
be a mom.
Smart girl.
Yeah.
How did it lead up? How did that whole thing lead up to becoming Miss Michigan?
It was a few years of smaller pageants, and she was winning pageants, and she got better and better. Her talent was dance. She's a great singer. She would she just kept progressing. I kept after it, kept after it, kept after it. And she got it.
You ever do a duet together?
No, not yet.
I like the word yet. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. So,
What's one of the things on your bucket list, Paulie? Like what you're still trying to, check off check the box on, like what you want to do.
Well, there's a few things on it, and you got to have some fun things too. So I do want to go back to Italy
Mm.
and pay a visit. It's been a long, 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 long time. Um, there's some things in my professional life. Like I said, I did the demo for the audiobooks. It's getting really
Oh,
well
yeah.
received. I'd like to do work for the next 10 years or so, at least.
Gotcha.
And I'd like to do some audio stuff. I did a couple of spots here and there, but it's starting to happen. Some shows, we put on some shows. My good friend Billy Davis, I
Yeah.
like to play with him, and yeah, and those are the kind of things. Yeah, fishing in the summer, you know, watching my grandkids grow.
Yeah.
do you play an instrument also, or do
Not good enough to play publicly.
what instrument would that be?
I play the guitar, I play the accordion, and I play the piano with my right hand because there's no buttons.
Right.
That's funny.
And for everybody that don't know, like Paul is an amazing, amazing chef. Like he can cook with the best of them. Like
Yeah,
every time he's made a meal, like I'm like, oh my God, it's like I'm in Italy. Like it's the best. So
sing.
if y'all need somebody, maybe one day you pay him enough money, he might cook something for you. But
No, I was gonna say maybe we'll start a singing chef or something.
Yeah, we talked about that one day.
Come to singing chef. But what time's dinner tonight?
Let's stop it.
And do you make gelato?
No, but I love it. No,
I love gelato.
I love gelato. I got a sweet tooth like you would. See, here's another thing too. If I go into like a bit of a negative cycle, I know myself. My sweet tooth explodes. And then I catch myself a couple of days later. Why did I eat a whole pack of sour Skittles? Some of this stuff, a little bit of ice cream. What did it? Yeah. So we all have little things, triggers that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we do.
I feed it. So I try not to feed it with my mouth, but you still got to fight it with your head.
So in the next 10 years, I plan on seeing maybe even on TV the singing chef.
Something. Yes, thank you.
The singing chef from Shelby Township. That would be great.
Yeah, I'm starting a little. I mean, it's interesting for me because most people my age who are singing have been singing all their life or acting or
Yeah.
so it's all very new for me. So
How long have you been doing? 10 years?
12, maybe 12 or so.
Yeah.
No, yeah, about 12.
That's great.
12 years.
Do you feel that it gives when you're doing it, you get that energy out too? That you.
I sing the best and I act the best when I'm in a negative spot. Because that energy it all comes out.
Yeah.
It just all comes out, and I feel like I'm in heaven afterwards. I mean,
Yeah.
Real quick on that, like when you catch yourself, like like you say, you know yourself now, right? And for as positive as we all are, and try to stay all the time, we do have the lulls where we go into those moments. How do you know, like, when you're about to hit it, and how do you catch yourself to bring yourself back up out of it?
Well, for me, over the years now, like I said, I've been in therapy a long time, and I've got a bag of tools, basically. One of them, exercise. One of them became singing. I didn't realize that because you do something with the pituitary gland or something, and you feel better. There's different things. Seeing some people, there's different things that I realize will help me like turn the corner, but it becomes about self awareness because unfortunately, devil ain't going away. I mean, he something fits you at the time when but it's up to us. It's up to us to catch it, because after a period of time, I think a few years back when I was in that dark period, I didn't know what was going on in my head, really. But now I can tell when negative thoughts starts coming in, or start to feel a little bit down, or don't feel like, nah, you don't really got the motivation or whatever it is. I can feel that negativity, and I realize I gotta. Sometimes it comes to a point where I'm going down. I say, okay, if I don't do something now, I'm gonna hit that next level. I get up, I go sing, or get up, I go ride my bike, or get up, whatever it is. Where it is. And the amazing thing is that it works. I mean, that little bit of boost will turn your energy.
When you're alone and you get that feeling, do you just start singing and
Yeah, yeah.
nobody around but you?
Oh, no matter. Let's go on the back porch and
And you
sing.
feel better.
My neighbors like it sometimes. Yeah, I'll do that. So just go. Just go, and I like to sing along with songs on YouTube, or some songs I'm working on or trying to learn, or
That's great.
Yeah.
That's good.
And is Sinatra your favorite?
He's amazing. That's amazing.
You actually got me listening to Sinatra because I used to come watch you sing.
How
Yeah.
about a few lines?
Oh, let me see. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
Nice.
God bless you in your journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. If you or you know anyone who'd like to be a guest on Talking Positive with Randy and Alan, please contact us at area code 313-454-1104 or email us at talkingpositivepod@gmail.com. Go out there and have a positive day.
See you next time.